Okay, back with you on the Bronx Buzz. I am thrilled because one of my buddies is here. His name is Joe Trabuzio. It would be curious to me about how many people who watch BronxNet television already know Joe because they've seen him at one event or another. Nice to see you, Joe. Thank you for joining us on the Bronx Buzz.
Gary, it's great to see you, whether it's in person or by way of modern technology. So
That's it.
awesome to
Uh,
see you.
on the basketball court at an event that I'm emceeing. So, listen, I've got it listed right off his website. He's a musician, he's a singer, he's a DJ, he's an MC, he's a sports announcer. And he's got one other thing which I didn't know about, despite how long we know each other, which we're going to talk about. But just talk to me about your upbringing and how you got oriented to kind of being the showman's showman, that you can sing, you can play music, that you love being a DJ, and all those things that you do.
Well, it all started, when I was 7 years old. My dad is an original member of a group called Larry Chance and the Earls, and they've had some hits in the
Well,
'60s.
something else I didn't know about Joe Tribuzio.
See, I'm digging up everything today. And when I was 7, my dad brought home a set of drums, set them up in the bedroom, and we were able to play a little bit, and it was a lot of fun. And I sort of wanted to get into music. In junior high school, my band teacher, a guy named Ronald Lazarus, who was an amazing teacher, he gave me a chance. He promoted me to senior band from junior band, and I progressed enough to where I wound up winning the band award with another buddy of mine at the end of ninth grade. And before my 15th birthday, back when the drinking age was 18, I was out playing bars and restaurants. I had facial hair, kept my mouth shut, and nobody asked any questions. And
Wow.
it was a lot of fun. Then it
You
just took
you
off
you
from there.
were a revolutionary. Well, I will tell you that the where I met Joe was literally on the basketball court. For many years, he was Lehman College's PA announcer, and when they opened the Apex, and he was the guy when you'd go to the game and he would play the music. That's the thing that always got me, is that you could do the PA, because I could never do anything like that. I mean, I've been, as you know, a PA announcer. You could do the PA for basketball, which is like very active. Tommy Jones gets a bucket, and the foul is on the third foul, and so, and then Joe would be the guy playing the music in the background, going dun 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 dun. Dun. I mean, Joe, man, he's like, he's got the foot pedal going, he's just doing it. And my guess is that the reason you can do all that is because you really love doing this stuff. I mean, that's the Bronx passion that I really love and respect. Right? You love doing this stuff.
I look forward to it. I mean, I get pumped up for a game just like the student athletes do. And it was said to me once, and I thought this was such a wonderful thing to hear and to be told. A coach that I worked for, he said to me, he said, "Joe, when you are at my games," he goes, "I can count on my girls scoring at least 6 to 10 more points per game."
Wow.
I don't do anything that reflects what you see on the scoreboard, but the fact that he said that, and then during the
Wow.
tournament time at CUNY, when we would sit at the CCNY at the scores table, and I'm paying attention to what's going on the court, occasionally fans would walk by because the layout there, the seats are so
Right.
close to the scores table, and every once in a while I would feel a tap on my shoulder. Fans would say hello to me. They would realize that I can't turn around and acknowledge them, but they would say hi, and it was just a very warm feeling.
Well, maybe we should say you're the John Condon of CUNY basketball. You have been the John Condon of CUNY basketball, and so that music ability was with you, was in you for many years, and I never knew it because I knew you as this guy who just was the magician at the local games. And you say you sat at courtside. I probably was a couple of seats away from you, and at a number of those games. And then one day, I remember the anthem singer didn't show up, and Joe said, "Oh, okay." And he sang the national anthem. I was like, "You got to be kidding me!" Do you love singing? And now that's what I really want to get to. So now you have regular gigs at restaurants and other places, right?
Yeah, when the pandemic hit, I mean, I've always worked as a musician. When I was living in Florida, I was in Florida for 5 years. I was playing 6 nights a week, here, there, and everywhere. And I love to sing. And then I went from being a drummer and a singer to just a front man where I could interact with audiences. When the pandemic hit, I couldn't let go of the music. I couldn't just sit by. So I started doing a one man thing. I would go to this restaurant out on City Island Avenue, and when the weather was
You can
nice,
say the name of the restaurant. We'll give them a plug.
I actually would sing in front of the City Island Diner, which and
Okay,
also the
right in the
I was
center of town.
Yeah, the Snug Lounge. The owner, her name
right?
is Sue, and she's a wonderful person.
Right.
He said, "Yeah, come on out." So I would set up right outside. People would sit outside, and I would sing. And I would go on for hours and hours until I ran out of steam. Music is in my blood. I've said it before. Music can take a bad day and turn it into a great day. Just the right song can just touch that chord within you.
And I hope people will realize and listen. We hope every musician makes $1 million, but Joe just loves doing this. I mean,
I do.
and now we see you on Arthur Avenue and
Mhm.
over there at Mario's. I mean, I don't know if there are other gigs that you have. Um,
I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. I
I
mean,
know
yeah,
you are.
I have Mario's has sort of become a home away from home. I will work with other musicians. I have some public events coming up, in Armonk, New York. Yes, I know it's outside of the Bronx. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
I have my country club gigs that I've been doing for 20 plus years, and I post things on Facebook so people can come and hear me and see me and just be a part of the good
Great.
times through music.
And so it's Metro Music, right? What's the website?
Right. It's Metro Music DJ and the word and livemusic.com.
There you go, Metro Music DJ livemusic.com.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna get to something that I did not know after all these years, after sitting next to the guy down the road from him at basketball games. I didn't know Joe has a straight job, like a regular job, and he works in schools. And if you ask me, what are the kinds of people we'd like to work in schools? I'd say somebody with passion, somebody with talent, somebody who knows the value of music and
Mhm.
other things. You're perfect. So tell me where you work, what do you do, and why is it still something that is important to you?
Well, the late 80s, I was living in Florida and I felt my music career had peaked. I
Little did you know that wasn't true, but that's okay.
The reason I say that is because back in the late 80s, I was with a band that opened up for the Commodores at a venue at NAS Cecil Field in Jacksonville, Florida, in front of 25,000 people. Shortly after that, my band was sent to Guantanamo Bay, Cuba to perform for the troops. When I got back from Cuba, I said, you know what? I said, I don't know if I'm going to be a star down here. Let me go home. I went back to New York. I got a job with the DOE, thanks to my mother, who was a lifelong DOE employee. Started working for the DOE in '92. I worked special ed for about 26 years. And little by little, as I got to know the students, I would sometimes go into classrooms, bring my little keyboard and whatever songs I could play on the keyboard, I would play for the
Boy,
class.
I want you around my kids, man. These are the people we gotta have with our kids. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
Editorializing, I have the microphone, I'm gonna say what I think.
No, that's all right. And I realized that even though a student, and the students that I worked with, I mean, they were dealt a very unfair hand with regards to their disabilities, but a lot of them didn't let it hold them down, and the music touched them. There was a young
Mm.
lady, the program that I worked for, it was the Bronx Center for Multiple Handicapped Children on Longfellow Avenue. They have long since changed the name, but I met a girl. Her name was Felicity, and Felicity came in at the age of
At what level do you this is middle school? High
well,
school?
this particular District 75 school, you
Oh,
could come
District
in.
75, okay,
Yes, you could come in at 4 years and 9 months old
right,
and stay till you're 21. So
right.
Felicity came in
Okay,
around.
I didn't realize that, okay, sure.
I met Felicity. She was 10 or 11 years old, and she loved music. And when she first came in, she was in a wheelchair. And little by
Mhm.
little, she got better, and she was able to walk, and then she was able to write, and her social skills were amazing. And she would write lyrics, and we'd create songs together.
Wow.
When she graduated at the age of 21, and I'll never forget this, her mother
Graduated
said,
high school, this was?
graduated from the program, yes.
Oh, from the program,
Yeah,
yes.
the program. She had aged out at 21.
Mhm,
She got, I believe, an IEP diploma.
right.
Her mother said to everyone in the auditorium, she said, "My daughter came in a wheelchair and is walking out a graduate," and that touched us all.
It
I
touched
saw
me.
her 3 or 4 years later. I'm at the Kmart in Bay Plaza, and all of a sudden I hear Mr. Joe, and I turn around, and there's Felicity, and she's working at Kmart. She's
Wow.
working in the jewelry department at Kmart in the jewelry department, and I felt so good just to see that and see how far she had come. And a lot of that, music just touches everyone. It touches the students here. Some of the students in this building that I've worked with.
No,
Uh,
you say this building, you should say where you are.
yeah, right
He's
now
not in his living room.
I'm speaking to you from the office of New World High School. It's on 228th Street, Bronxwood Avenue. We have four different high schools. I was working on the first floor with another special ed program. I transferred up here because we have a music program that I help run, and I'm grateful to be able to do that. But while on the first floor, some of the students and I, we actually recorded a 5 song original CD
Wow.
in a classroom, room 101, and we named our little project Studio 101. And it was a lot of
Well,
fun.
wait a minute. So when can we have them in here? I'll put them on TV, man. Let's get them in
Well,
here. Let's play a little music. I mean, I
I know
realize things are
you're
complicated. I'm making a public offer, but if kids are playing music and they work with you, we could talk about it after the show, but I'd
Yeah, I
love
can
to
I
have
can
them
look
on.
up these students and find them and see if they'd be interested. I mean, they've
Right.
they've graduated since we recorded the CD.
Well,
So
that
much
that
fun.
could be an interesting, story
Mhm.
as well. Anyway, Joe, do you have a favorite task that you do, whether it's sports announcing or DJ or playing your own music or working with young people? I mean, or is it just it's all part of, like, the beautiful mosaic of life, of Joe's life, so to speak?
I can't really, there isn't one particular thing that I enjoy more than the other because everything has its ups and downs, but what I do, there's many more ups than downs. One thing that's really wonderful about a sporting event is, if I walk into, one of the
We
many
only got a
clubs.
few seconds, so wrap it up
Okay,
quick. Go ahead.
I mean, there's positive energy that is thrown my way through everything that I do, whether it's the students, the sports, the music, singing, whatever it is. I love it all. And I'm just so grateful that I can do it. And I'm going to keep doing it
And
until
say the name of the website so people can find you.
you can find me at Metro Music DJ and livemusic.com, or you can call me directly at 914-224-1700.
One of the great people of the Bronx, one of the people I've known for many, many years, Joe Tribuzio. I'll say, keep going. You don't need me to say that. That's what you're going to do. You still riding your motorcycle?
Absolutely.
I know you
Absolutely.
are.
Yes.
All right, but he doesn't do it with his DJ equipment because I've helped him unload it from the truck, and there
That's
were
right.
times that I did, and he said, "No, don't touch it because I know how this stuff goes."
Gary, I want to thank you so much.
Yeah,
And
you're my buddy forever, Joe. You be well and,
thank you.
stay safe, and, guess what, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and joins, that is it for our, program this evening. Thanks to Katie Honan from the city who provided some great information, and thanks to Joe Tribuzio for all he does. Get out there on Arthur Avenue or wherever he is and enjoy yourself. Um, yeah, music lights us up. Good night.